Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Juice Baseball channel. And welcome back to another episode of the San Diego Padres rebuild. We are back, and we are finishing up the regular season here in today's episode. We've got August and September to take care of today, so it shouldn't take too much longer to get through the season. We will finish it up. We are currently sitting in year number 4 after coming off of back-to-back NLCS losses. Right now, we currently sit 2 games above the Dodgers, but we know that can flip-flop on a dime because the Dodgers are the Dodgers and we are the Padres at the end of the day. But we've made some massive improvements, or in theory, improvements to the squad. Not only do we have Shane McClanahan, who is on a historic type of pitching performance, pitch and run here, and Cy Young almost favorite at this point, almost guaranteed. But we made a trade for Spencer Strider and Cole Ragans to improve this pitching rotation. We also made a trade for Dean Kremer, who not only is a great pitcher who's having a phenomenal season, but was an all-star starter this year for the American League. We sent Reed Detmers to the Orioles to pick up Dean. I don't know how long Dean's going to be on the team. He's basically just a rental at this point because he's on the last year of his deal right now. But I'm trying to win a World Series for the San Diego Padres, so I had to go all in to get the guys that I feel like would win us a championship. And I feel like now we finally have the pitching staff and the bullpen that will get us to the promised land, which is that World Series trophy. Now, will the hitting follow through? That's to be seen later, I guess. I mean, the hitting right now is fine, I guess. We did just bring in Ellie De La Cruz as another addition to the bench, also possible starter. He probably could just go right in at third base for Paredes, but I mean, Paredes is hitting not too bad right now, so maybe he just stays as that player. I mean, he could maybe go in for a DH over Mariano Alfonso. Maybe that's something a little bit better because Alfonso is currently in his rookie year, but I mean, he's not hitting horribly. He's actually hitting better than usual right now. He's getting hot. So I don't really know right now where Ellie De La Cruz fits in, but I mean, he's Ellie De La Cruz. He's going to fit in somewhere. So it's nice to have him on the team. And I think the bats will wake up when we get to the postseason. I hope. That's the hope, is that they'll wake up. But I like our bench. I like our pitching staff. I think we're going to be pretty good. I hope that we're pretty good. Now, I'm pretty sure I signed all of my... Yeah, because we're already into September. So I signed all the draft picks. I guess this is the time where we find out how good our guys are. I don't think we found out previously. And here's our number 1 pick, number 28 overall, Willie Garcia, who on paper looks like an absolute stud. Now, is he actually going to be that? Let's find out right here. Oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. What? Willie Garcia, we had him 100% scouted. He was 100% scouted. His scouted potential was 79 to 94, and he's below that at 66? I mean, these later round picks aren't too bad. They're all above an 85, so that's pretty solid. They're just going to take a while to become relevant. But the 2 top picks, the guys that I felt the most confident in, are the 2 guys that aren't good? I mean, this guy, Willie Garcia, he's fine right now. He's got good contact. He's got decent power. I mean, he's a decent AA player. But the fact that he's a 66 actual potential when he was 79 to 94 at 100% scouted, I don't think he had an injury, did he? I don't think he had a. I don't think he had anything in the report that said he was injured. Maybe he did, and I just overlooked it. Because that potential is unbelievably bad. That is not what I expected. I don't think I've ever seen a 100% scouted potential in a range and then the actual potential be lower than what the range was. That's insanity. I was super hyped up that Willie Garcia was going to be like the next big thing for us. I guess that's down the drain. I mean, he's going to be a fine minor league guy, but that's brutal. I mean, we've got a guy with B potential in Johnny Mobley, but all these guys have decent B potential, but they're all going to take forever to get up here. We might never even see these guys because they're going to take forever to get up there. I mean, they're 50 overalls and below. So I was really banking on the fact that we had Willie Garcia, and I felt like he was going to be really good, but apparently I was way off. That might be one of the worst draft picks I've made in a while. I mean, I understand that he was ranked number 94 for a reason, but that potential at 100%, yeah, the scouting progress right there says 100% scouted, and his doctor exam says he's healthy. So it's not injury that's causing his potential to go down. It's just he wasn't as good as advertised. That's kind of crazy. That's not kind of crazy. That is wild. I don't think I've ever seen that before. That's insanity that Willie Garcia is not better than what he is. Oh, man, that just got me all bummed out. That's crazy. All right, well, let's move on from that. Let's hope that we can get some good stuff going here. We've got Brian Bello on the mound against the Nationals. We need to get a win here. And Bello got a hurt arm. He bruised his arm, and we lose the game. That's not good when you're trying to battle the Dodgers. We've got Dean Kremer's first game of his career here in San Diego. I'm actually going to jump in, and we're going to quick manage with Dean Kremer. So we are going to play that game. But Spencer Strider's no longer hurt. That's good. We're going to play this game, but I'm going to jump in and play the full game, and then we'll jump into a quick manage after a little bit, but I just want to jump in for a quick minute and see Dean Kremer debut, basically. Okay, we're going to pitch this first inning with Kremer as a San Diego Padre, then we'll quick manage the rest of it, and maybe jump in if we get into a little bit of danger. Who knows, but we'll see how it goes. We need to win games, basically. I think we lost that game because Brian Bello got hurt. He bruised his arm or whatever. I think that's one of the reasons why we lost. It also just could have been we just didn't play well against the Nationals, which is hard to believe, I think, because, I mean, I know we're 4 years deep now, and the Nationals probably could have gotten better, but I highly doubt it. But we're just doing normal Padre things, which is lose games we shouldn't lose in critical situations. I mean, every game at this point, past the All-Star break and past the deadline, every game to this point is critical. Every game is must win. We need to win as many as possible to keep the Dodgers at bay, win this division, and then go all the way to the World Series and win the World Series. I know that's a lot to ask, but I mean, we got back-to-back NLCS appearances the past 2 years. So it's not like we've never done it before. We've been there. Just when it came to, and that's an unfortunate walk for Keibert Ruiz, when it came to the important games in the NLCS, we couldn't get it done, unfortunately, which is why we've somewhat drastically changed our pitcher rotation up a little bit. I mean, from that last NLCS appearance just last year, as James Wood sends that over the wall for a 2-run homer, I didn't think I placed that cutter in a bad spot. But apparently I did, because James Wood sent that to the moon on a guaranteed no-doubter. And that's not looking good for Dean Kremer's debut. Where was that ball placed? I mean, it was in the middle area of the zone, but it wasn't like down the middle, like that one kind of was. I mean, James Wood just kind of just had a good at-bat there, and that's not looking good for Kremer's debut for the Padres. Maybe we'll get some run support to help him out. That's really all I can hope for. And I'm not getting the swing and misses that I'm trying to go for. I'm usually a swing and miss type of pitcher. I'm not a pitch to contact type of guy. And that's got to be strike 3. I mean, Dylan Cruz clearly went around. He wouldn't have left the box if he didn't go around all the way. That's going to be Isaac Paredes, and he will get the final out. But James Wood makes it 2-0 early. Maybe Dean Kremer's just a pitch to contact type of pitcher. I don't know. We'll see how we do with quick manage here. So we get the 2 to tie. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Kremer has a clean inning. He allows another hit, but nothing to worry about there. Allows a couple more hits. We get an extra run there to take the lead. And now I think Kremer is going to be called out here. We're going to change him. We're going to bring in the top of the 6th. I mean, we've got a plethora of bullpen options to choose from. I think we're going to go Matt Strahm here. He gets through the inning. I'm going to give him the 7th as well. He gets through that. They finally pull their starter. We go to the top of the 8th. I'm going to bring in Devin Williams here because he's been on a roll. He allows a few hits, but no runs. Okay, and then we're going to change to Emmanuel Clase, and he's going to hopefully close this game out, and we do win 3-2 against the Nationals. Big win. We bounce back after the loss. Gorman hit a 2-run homer, and Vladdy hit a home run. That's the runs that we had. Good to see Gorman starting to heat up, hopefully. Kremer gets the win. That moves him to 14 wins on the season. Still with only that one loss that he had when he was in Baltimore. That was a somewhat good debut. Can we finish out the series? Mason Miller's in a really tough spot, and we lose. We get beat in the series by the Nationals. What is going on? They're 35-81. See, this is the type of stuff that I just don't understand. How do we go and lose 2 out of 3 to the 35-win National? That just doesn't make any sense. And that's the stuff that worries me about the postseason. The Mets beat us there. We lose another series. And now we got to take on the Dodgers. Kremer gets the shutout against the Dodgers, which is nice. We beat them there, but we lose to them there. So at least we were able to hold them off for 2 games to keep the series or the division lead at 1 game. But I mean, these are unnecessary losses. Losing to the Nationals 2 out of 3 is unnecessary and should not have happened. Losing the Mets 2 out of 3 should not have happened. I mean, we got to clean this stuff up. We got to absolutely clean this stuff up. And it seems like Cole Rankins might not be the guy because he was not the guy pitching when we had to jump in there. But that was a 15-run game. Now it's a 16. Oh my God, we killed the Diamondbacks on that one. But we are going to Dean Kremer with a lat muscle strain. We lose the game to the Diamondbacks. Okay, he's back. Thank God. I thought he was going to be out for a little bit longer than that. We lose to the Marlins there, and the Dodgers have surpassed us by a game and a half now. Why are we losing games that we clearly should not be losing? It's got to be because of these 2 guys right here. I mean, Strider is pitching really well. McClanahan's having a phenomenal season, and Kremer's pitching amazing. So it's got to be those 2. But the bats are not working either. I mean, Tatis is cold. Gunner's cold. Maybe we got to shake up the lineup a little bit. Maybe we got to bring De La Cruz as the DH instead of Alfonso. And then maybe we take Tatis out of the leadoff role and have De La Cruz lead off. Tatis will move to like number 7 or something, I guess. We'll do Jackson Merrill's the leadoff guy here, and then have Tatis hit 7th again. I don't know. We got to shake something up because obviously the bats are not working amazing. I mean, I know we put up 16 runs against the Diamondbacks, but the bats in general are just not really performing. We win 9-3 there with Strider on the mound. That's nice. We are getting a lot of injuries. I'm a little concerned about what our minor league team is doing because it's a lot of minor league injuries right now. We beat the Blue Jays there. And we're in a tough situation. Joey Bart's at the plate. Another guy that we made a trade for at the deadline. We switched him for, JT Realmuto for Joey Bart to kind of swap contracts and get a cheaper contract. And I think I am going to jump in here and try to help out the Padres because we need it. All right, here we go. Down by 1. Nobody out in the top of the 8th. There's a decent chance we can tie this game up with one swing of the bat by Joey Bart. If he just puts this in the outfield. I mean, who do we got on base? We've got Paredes and Bohm. Paredes doesn't have that much speed, neither does Bohm, but, I mean, something deep into the outfield here in Toronto can definitely score at least 1 guy. Maybe not 2. Certainly not 2, but something in the left center or right center gap can certainly score Paredes from second. We just got to get it there with Joey Bart. I mean, we traded for him to be our backup catcher on a cheaper deal than Realmuto was. He's basically, I think he was around the same overall, if not even maybe better overall than Realmuto was. And that is a chopper double play. And that's not what I wanted to do. That gets rid of our leading runner that we had on first. And now the rookie comes up, Mariano Alfonso. If Alfonso can do some damage here, just put this in play in the outfield, Mariano, and he did not do that. He pops up a pitch to third base, and we come away with runners on second and first. We come away with nothing. That is a perfect example of what I'm terrified about when it comes to the postseason. Man, McClanahan got the loss for that. He allowed 4 earned runs in that game while he was in, and that is a scary thing to have happen as we just go on a 3-game winning streak against the Phillies and then sweep them in the final one. That's a nice little comeback. Little 4-game sweep of the Phillies. That brings us back to a game and a half. It's us versus the Dodgers. I talked about in the last episode how the Diamondbacks might be able to sneak their way back in if they just go crazy, but no, it's just us versus the Dodgers. That's really all it is. That's really all it is. So we got to keep that in mind and just keep on winning. If we just keep on winning, we don't have to worry about it. But it looks like that's going to be a struggle for us. We take 2 of 3 against New York. They've tied us at 84 wins. Hold on for this one. We beat the Mets 4-1. We now enter September, and that means September call-ups. Oh, I don't think it needs to be anybody in the bullpen. I think we have a pretty full bullpen right now, so it needs to be... Look at everybody's just cold. Every single position, people are cold. I think it needs to be 2 position players that need to get called up. It probably needs to be C.J. Abrams, because he was already up here before. So C.J.'s going to get called back up. And then it probably needs to be another outfielder. So Joe Adell probably gets called up. So let's call Joe Adell back up. That way we have a little bit more outfield depth for the postseason. As long as they don't mess with my my postseason lineups. We lose to the Mets there. Bases are loaded. Tatis. There's 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. We don't get the win. We lose 2 of 3 against the Mets. What are we doing? We lose to the Cardinals there. What is going on, guys? So many injuries, too. We're 2 games back of the Dodgers. This needs to be an amazing month. I mean, that's just all it is. This needs to be... We need to win every single game, almost, if we want to keep fighting off the Dodgers. I mean, thank God that we play them here, because at least we have a chance to actually control our own destiny. But we need to win games, all the games up into that point. We beat the Twins there. McClanahan's got a shutout going. He doesn't hold the shutout, but we get the win. So many injuries and so many guys coming back from injury. We lose that game to the Twins. Strider got the loss there. Come on, Spencer. We're killing the Brewers there 12-6. Bellows got a shutout going. We lost that game 2-1. De La Cruz, you know what? I haven't played with De La Cruz since we got him, so he's got 2 home runs in this game. We might as well jump in and see what we can do with him. It does also help that we are up 8-2 on the Brewers, so that also helps me wanting to jump in this one. First pitch swing with De La Cruz, nothing doing there. Back-to-back home runs, the third and the fourth. So if we could hit a third one, I'd love it. Absolutely love it. Not gonna do it on that pitch, that's for sure. Way over the top of that. Way over the top. But that's a decent pitch. Ooh, I didn't get enough of it. I didn't get enough of it at all. That one was good. That was a good pitch to hit. That's annoying. We do get the win, though. We hold on 8-4. De La Cruz is the player of the game. Kremer gets the win. And Abreu got the save out of all people. Okay. That's a big win because I think that's the final game against the Brewers. And Sean will hurt his tricep. I mean, what are these injuries, man? These are crazy injuries. We've got McClanahan, Strider, and Cole Reagans going against the Dodgers. We need to win all 3 of these. We're winning 7-3. That's a good start. We hold on 10-3. We need to win this one, too. De La Cruz, we're down 2-0. Ohtani's on the mound. I mean, I gotta try, right? Elliot De La Cruz is back. Bottom of the 8th, nobody out, leading off against Ohtani. Thank God they didn't call that a strike. We need to win this game. We can't let the Dodgers take any of these games, really. We need to sweep them. It's a good start, 2-0. 2-0 for De La Cruz. What's Ohtani going to give me here? He's going to give me something to hit, but I can't hit it, obviously, because I suck. I was even good timing on that. Just did not piece it up very well, did I? That's a tough one. It's 4-2 now in the bottom of the 10th, so we were able to tie it and get us to extra innings. But De La Cruz is back. Evan Phillips is on the mound. They're trying to end this game. I don't want them to end it. Plus, De La Cruz has got his hitting streak that I'd like to keep going. I don't know if we'll be able to. Ooh, I didn't get enough of that, did I? Another missed opportunity, and that's probably going to be the game. I'm obviously not going to get another chance with De La Cruz. We're either going to lose or win. We came back and won. We scored. Henderson hit a double, Gunnar Henderson, and then I think that was Nolan Gorman with the 2-run homer. I mean, that's a crazy comeback in the bottom of the 10th. What a walk-off. What a freaking walk-off. We needed that. That takes us 2 games over the Dodgers. Cole Reagan's against Bobby Miller. It's 2-2 in the top of the 8th. Please, Matt Strahm, do not lose this for us. We sweep the Dodgers. That is a massive 3-game sweep. That is an absolutely massive 3-game sweep. We have about a week and a half of baseball left to play. We just got to keep riding that momentum. Ride the wave. We got bases loaded for Vladdy. You got to do something with this, Vladdy. Giants win 7-6. Nolan Jones 10-game hitting streak. Giants win 5-1. We did nothing. Exactly nothing. We get swept by the Giants. We literally did nothing with that 3-game sweep of the Dodgers. We get swept by the Giants, who are 500. How in the world did we get swept by the Giants? I mean, what are we doing? We lose to the Reds. Bellows got a shutout. We get that one, so we take 2 of 3. We are 2 games back of the Dodgers. We're both in the playoffs, but that's not what I care about. I care about the division, and I don't think we can get it. We have to sweep the Giants. I'm pretty sure. We take game 1. We're a game back. We're down. You got to be kidding me. Bottom of the 6th. I mean, I'll try to jump in. I don't understand why we lose these games. Joey Bart is at the plate with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th, but I don't have very good history so far in today's episode of getting any hits, really. I don't think I've gotten a hit since I've jumped into any of these games. That's kind of annoying. But maybe Joey Bart can change that. Maybe he can unload the bases here. Put us in a real good spot. Give us that momentum that we're looking for. Momentum is everything. We need to get it. Joey Bart, a little bit late on the pitch. 95 fastball. Wasn't really sitting fastball, so. Come on, Joey. I know we traded for you to be a guy that does something, and that's not even Joey's fault. That's 100% on me. And I screwed that up, that's for sure. And we lose the game. Yep. That makes sense. 6-4 loss. Oh, my God. Why are we just losing games like crazy, man? The fact that we lost to the Giants, got swept by them in the previous series is unbelievably frustrating, and we finished the season with a loss as well. Yet we don't win the division, that's for sure. And we are playing the Milwaukee Brewers in the wild card round. I hate everything about everything, basically. So here are your award winners. Spencer Strider took the Cy Young from Shea McClanahan just because he had more strikeouts, I guess. I feel like McClanahan had a better season, but whatever, they give it to Strider. Here are the rest of your awards. If you're curious about the National League, and we'll go through the American League. Looks like Ohtani got a Silver Slugger, possibly, or maybe that was or not Ohtani, Tatis. Maybe it was a Gold Glove. Here are your American League ones. Man, I can't believe we lost, and we couldn't hold on for the series. Just the amount of losses that we suffered to teams that we should not have lost to, that's what gets me. It's not that we lost to the Dodgers and the Dodgers beat us out for the division. That's understandable. The Dodgers are the Dodgers. They're gonna do that. And the most frustrating part is we swept them at the end of the season in 3 games, and then we go on to lose like 7 out of our last 9, whatever it was. I mean, how do you physically get to that spot? Like, what was happening where we lost those games? We should never have been in that situation. We should have taken that momentum and won the rest of those games, and we would have been perfectly fine. It's the unnecessary losses. It's the losses to teams that have no business beating us. That's what gets me. That's what makes me frustrated. It's not that we didn't win the division or that the Dodgers beat us out. That's not what I'm frustrated. It's these unnecessary losses. Losing 2-3 to the Nationals. Losing 2 of 3 to the Marlins. I know they're over 500 by 10 games, but still. Losing to the Yankees, who are 500. Losing to the Mets, who are under 500. Losing to the Giants, who are 500. Twice. we lost to the Giants. We got swept by them, losing to the Reds, who are 67 and 95. Like, these unnecessary. We lost 13-2. I didn't even clock that. We lost 13-2 in this game. It's those types of games. Those are the games that those are the reasons why I'm frustrated. It's not because we didn't win the division or anything like that. It's just because I hate the fact that we lost games that we had no business losing. We clearly were the better team in all of those games, and yet we didn't win them. That's the most frustrating part. So enough of my ranting and complaining. Let's take a look at the stats and see how the team wrapped up, and then we can finish this video, and I can go cry. So Ellie De La Cruz didn't really... he had about 2 months with us, so we don't really know how much of this stuff is... We know that at least 2 home runs are, because when we jumped in that game, he had 2 home runs in that game. So we know that he at least had 2 home runs for us. But, I mean, these numbers are fine. He's continuing to grow. He's only 25, so he's going to continue to be a phenomenal player for us. Gunnar Henderson has been doing exactly what I expected him to do since we brought him in. I mean, he's exactly as advertised. He's a fine player. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. had a significant drop-off. I mean, he hit 50 home runs, 48 home runs, 46 home runs. He didn't get hurt. He played 149. I mean, he didn't play every game, but he played in 149 games. That's certainly enough time to hit more than 27 home runs and hit better than 276 and slug better than 467. This is an historical bad season from Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and he's getting paid $32 million. He can't have a historical bad season for us. So that's a little bit concerning. Thankfully, Nolan Gorman turned it around after the kind of worrying second season here in San Diego, but he had a very, very solid season in year 3 here in Toronto. Jackson Merrill had a good year, his best statistical season in terms of his OBP, his slugging, his OPS, not his average, but everything else statistically was very, very good for Jackson Merrill, which is a nice sign. He's 88 overall. Nolan Jones, we brought him in, and he's got arbitration for another year, but he's worrying me a little bit. These numbers are slightly concerning. They're not to the point where I'm going to have to bench him or anything, but they're slightly concerned. They could certainly get to that spot. And Fernando Tatis, I mean, this man has just not been the guy that I need him to be. He's the face of the franchise. I've said it since the very first episode. He's the face of the franchise, and I need him to hit better than 250 over how many games did he play? He played 141 games. I need him to hit better than 250 and slug better than 440. That's just the plain fact. He's getting paid a lifetime contract, basically. I need him to hit better than what he's hitting. Paredes had a career year, so there's nothing really I can complain about Isaac Paredes. Ethan Salas, his second full season as the starting catcher. He's only getting better. He's only 20 years old, so I like Ethan Salas. I like the direction he's going. On the bench, Alec Boehm played in 52 games. He was mainly just a rotational DH. I mean, he did good with what he was given. I don't know, maybe these numbers would be better if he was playing every day. Who knows? Probably. Mariano Alfonso in his rookie year played in 93 games, hit 10 home runs. These are promising numbers. I'm sure that if we give him more time, he'll certainly start to continue to grow like Ethan Salas. But he did fine with his limited action. Joey Bart, we brought him in the replacement of JT Realmuto, and he just kind of was there. I mean, we didn't really expect anything too crazy. I wasn't like bringing him in expecting him to hit 250 and hit 70 or 17 home runs or something like that, something crazy. CJ Abrams was a starter for a little bit this year. I think then we benched him. Maybe that was last year. I can't remember. I know he was a starter at some point for us recently. But in his very, very limited action, he performed decently with his averages, with his splits. And he's a fine player. He's nice and young, 26 years old. So, I mean, he'll be a good player for us. Colt Keith, I have no idea what I want to do with you. You didn't even play for us this year. I don't even know why he's up here. They must have changed the playoff roster. So we've got all the pitchers that I want. Got all the bullpen guys that I want. Oh, they moved Clay Holmes down. Well, I need to have Clay Holmes up here. Joey Barton Salas. Sean will move down. Colt Keith, we're going to remove you from the playoff roster. CJ Abrams, we brought back up. Wyatt Langford, they also moved down. He had very, very limited action in his time. They also moved down Joe Adele. So who'd they bring up in replace of him? Because they had to have brought somebody up that I didn't expect. Oh, maybe they didn't. Oh, that's because we're back to 26 players. That's right. So they didn't have to bring anybody up. Well, I'm going to need another outfield. I can't just have Mariano Alfonso be our only outfield guy, so we're going to have to bring somebody back up, and I think it's going to have to be Wyatt Langford. So we're going to move Wyatt Langford back up, and that means probably CJ's going to have to go back down because we have De La Cruz. He's a good utility guy. But we have to have another outfielder. We can't just have one outfielder for the playoffs, so I think that's a fine playoff roster. Shane McClanahan, in theory, was robbed of the Cy Young, I feel like. Shouldn't have gone to Spencer Strider, but hey, I mean, at least it goes to somebody on our team. 18 wins in 221 innings, 212 strikeouts. His best ERA since 2022 when he was an all-star. So, I mean, a phenomenal season. It's his best season basically since 2022. So, I'm very happy that Shane McClanahan was having such a great year. Spencer Strider, we saw his numbers. He won the Cy Young this year. 254 in strikeouts, 325 ERA, 1.818 whip. I mean, it's a great season. It's just not better than Shane McClanahan, in my opinion. Cole Reagans, I don't know. I like Cole Reagans, but he was the losing pitcher a lot of the times that we were simulating those games, so I don't know what we do with him. Brian Bello, I like. He had a really, really solid end of the season, so I'm fine with Brian Bello. And then Dean Kremer did exactly as advertised. He won 19 games. Which are he won 6 games with us because he had 13 when we traded for him. So he got 6 wins with us. He also got 3 losses with us. But he pitched about the same as maybe even better than what he was doing before we traded him for him. So I like Dean Kremer on the team. The bullpen, very happy with because the bullpen is very, very solid, the best in baseball. Trevor Rogers didn't pitch at all for us. Clay Holmes pitched in 77 innings. Not better than what he was doing previously, but it's not anything to worry about, I don't think. Mason Miller had a rough year, especially compared to what he did last year, but 92 strikeouts in 94 innings is very awesome, so I like what Mason Miller was doing. Matt Strahm, 74 innings pitched, higher ERA than normal. This is where you would think it'd be a little bit concerning because he had 2 seasons straight of a really, really solid ERA and a whip. And now his whip is still pretty good, but his ERA is a little bit high. So you could start to get a little bit concerned, especially because he's 35 and he's under contract for 2 more years. That could be a little bit concerning later on, but we'll keep an eye on it. Brian Abreu had a good year, a little bit high ERA, but still a very solid year, and I feel comfortable with Brian Abreu. Devin Williams, I mean, he was killing it. He was absolutely killing. Didn't even have an ERA this year, which is just phenomenal because he pitched in 15 innings. So in 15 innings of baseball, you didn't have a single earned run. That's kind of crazy. So very happy with Devin Williams. And Emmanuel Clase had 44 saves in 56 innings. A little bit of a concerning ERA, but still good enough that I like it. And that is the stats. So we know the drill. Next episode will be the postseason. The entirety of the postseason. So whether we lose in the wild card to the Brewers, which would be devastating, or we go to the World Series and everything in between, it'll be in the next episode. If we lose in the wild card, I don't know what we do with the series because I'd be devastated. It would be heartbreaking to lose in the NLCS or the NL wild card. That cannot happen. It also can't happen that we lose in the NLCS because we've lost back-to-back years. We have to get to the World Series. That's the bare minimum, and then we have to win it. That's the overall goal. That's the obvious goal. Can we do it? I guess we'll find out in the next episode. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it. If you enjoyed, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.